Hello, my name is Meg, and I'm reviewing our DJI Osmo and all the other crap that came with it. I'm making this review for the DJI Osmo because we got a bunch of other accessories that came along with it, and I wanted to kind of go over a couple of tips and tricks about operating it. I've been using it for a couple of weeks now. I'm going to go over ND filters, like that sports kit that comes with it, with the $800 kit or whatever. We've got the dashboard holder, got the extension thingy. We have 5 batteries that came with this, so that's pretty awesome. The attachment that you can attach other things to it, it's like an extension of some more accessories that you can add on. I've got the extension arm. We've got the bike mount. This case that I think works very well with it. We can fit almost everything. Forewarning, I'm not a videographer. We don't do professional video services. I make vlogs. I do behind the scenes stuff and video marketing for our businesses, and that's about it. So we really didn't need this as a professional, but we just wanted it, okay? Like, I mean, why do you buy stuff anyway? It's not because you need it, it's because you want it. I'm gonna show you guys a couple of the things, a couple of tricks like connecting issues, little workarounds, things not to freak out about. I'll just do kind of like a walkthrough of the whole thing. If you happen to pick one of these up, I found it really helpful for normal people to do walkthroughs and stuff like this and not have to go through like the official videos. So here we go. It comes with this stand, which you'll notice that there's a little arm here for, there's a little nib here for the wrist strap. That is always aligned with the push button. So just to make sure you're always locked in there, it's always aligned with that, okay? Everything else is really well built. We were just really impressed with the build quality of this device. It's really nice. I mean, we're pretty much on board because we have a DJI drone Phantom 3, so that one, and I reviewed that one too after 2 crashes. That one was built really well as well, so I guess we weren't too surprised, but still, it's really built really well. Whoever designed this, whoever the engineer was, like, did a really good job. So putting your phone in, okay, it's a little awkward at first. You're like, okay, how do I do this? This is how I found it to be the easiest. You stretch out these little arms like this. You line up your phone. You'll usually be holding it like this, right? You'll line up your phone and just use your left hand and press. Now I'm using a iPhone 6 Plus, so it's kind of the bigger one. You can kind of see it. This is like the max. This is the max that this thing can hold. So I have a fairly thin case. If you have a bulky case, you're probably gonna have to take it off. So you can probably get one of these thinner cases, okay? So what we like to do to connect faster and more consistently when using this thing out into the field and stuff is to first put this thing on airplane mode and Wi-Fi, right? The airplane mode makes sure that you're not picking up any other Wi-Fi signals, okay? Go to settings, and you have to turn this guy on, and before you turn it on, you wanna unlock this thing, the gimbal, and then turn it on, okay? And then connect to your Wi-Fi, find the Osmo, and you wanna wait to hear this fan. Hear the fan? So this fan lets me know, the user know, that it's on. Every now and again you'll be out in the field and maybe you want to save battery and you want to put this guy on standby. How you put this on standby is you just hit that power button down once, and then it goes into sleep mode. The problem what we were having is that every time it went into sleep mode, it had a problem connecting once again. It was just always this blank screen, NA, and it couldn't find it. And it's like, hey, I'm trying to film something, moments are happening and I'm missing it, right? So usually you can just hit that button awake and it'll come right back. But if you let it go to sleep mode for like more than a minute, it always has trouble connecting. So you just have to go back into your settings and then select the Osmo Wi-Fi once again. It's kind of annoying. It's not that responsive. I hope that they improve that in the next firmware update or whatever. Another thing is if you click on the gear symbol and you click General and you go to Wi-Fi settings and you choose 5G on the frequency, you'll be able to connect faster. That's what we found. Okay, and then as far as keeping everything kind of primed and ready for you to film, since you're working with your phone, Since you're working with your phone, you need to have ample room and ample space on your phone to be able to operate this thing. Otherwise, it's gonna be kind of janky, the footage will be corrupted, you're gonna bring back footage, you're gonna think that you recorded it, and all you're gonna see is a bunch of pixels, or it's really choppy and skippy and corrupted. Or you're just gonna see like a QuickTime icon and there's nothing there to play. So that's annoying. So you don't wanna have to deal with that. So I don't like to keep a video cache on the phone because it takes up space. So I don't even enable the video cache. And every time if I want to keep a video cache, you want to clear the cache before you start filming, you know, for however long you want to film. I also transferred all of my photos and videos and any extra space that I could free up on my phone, you want to do that. Another thing that we didn't realize was we were trying to shoot in 4K because this guy can shoot in 4K, but you need a proper memory card for that. I didn't know that. See, I'm not professional. So we just picked up, I'll link it in the description, but it's a 4K ready memory card basically. And it needs to be at least 64 gigs, right, for you able to store that amount of data. And I'll leave my video format at MOV. I'm at NTSC because I'm in the States. Photo ratio is 16:9. Format is RAW. Time-lapse format is video. So I don't know how to compile a bunch of images. I mean, I could if I wanted to, but like if you're gonna do a time-lapse with this guy, just put it in video. It's so much easier. Let's see, it's got, you know, overexposure warnings or histograms and anything like that. I think that may be really helpful because when you're shooting outside in bright light, and you're using your phone and you don't have anything else to kind of help you, it's really hard to tell sometimes when you're on the right exposure. So if you're really going to be taking this and making your own little films like we do, that would probably help to have this histogram and overexposure warning enabled. So I just did it for myself because, you know. Okay, so and in here with the gear thingy, with the camera thingy, you can format your SD card. Okay. Oh my God, it looks crazy. There's a bunch of lines on it. Yeah, I don't know, that's distracting. It's giving me vertigo. I'm just gonna take it out. I just have to get better at seeing it myself. Sorry, the histogram warning is a little too crazy for me. It's kind of tripping me out. So another thing, when you're shooting outside, okay, and you wanna capture that filmic look, so 24 frames per second, right? And so the rule is, what your shutter speed is supposed to be double that. So the closest thing to 24 times 2 is what? 50, right? So we want to choose on the manual setting and put our shutter at 50 so that we capture that nice, smooth, cinematic feel. However, when you're in bright light and you can't adjust the aperture, it's really hard. Like you'll be at ISO 100, but you're outside, it's so bright. So you need to adjust that with an ND filter. I didn't know this, okay? So what I recommend is this really cool one for 30 bucks, man. It was like every ND filter out there was like 60 and above or something really crazy expensive. And so we picked up this guy. This is about $30, and they give you 4 filters here. So we've got a regular one, you've got like a polarized one, a semi-darker one, and then you have this badass one here, which is adjustable, which is really cool. It's the thicker one. So what would happen is you just, this guy, and I'm sure I have some test footage to show you right now that you guys are looking at. You put this guy on very easily, and it has a scale. And for what it is and for how much it is, it's pretty good. I mean, I'm not trying to sell these films and stuff like that. It's really just for our own use, our own like in-house marketing. And we just want it to look decent, you know what I mean? So this is really great at allowing and giving us a little bit more control with the light outside in the really dark outdoors. Let's see, the battery lasts for about a good, if I'm shooting a lot of stuff, it lasts for about 20 minutes. And then at the end, it'll start to kind of, I'll have to know and remember that data will start to get corrupted. So that's something that you should probably keep in mind. So it's just like the drone, like towards the end of its battery life, it starts to kind of get a little weak and data starts to get corrupted and it's not that clean. So that's just something to note. It handles really well. It's really like, it's so fun, guys. It's so fun to play with this thing, especially if you're not like a pro and you're still learning all the panning movements and how to walk with it and all this stuff. We have the consumer grade model, and what's great is you can always upgrade this to a more legit camera like that big one that they have. You just have to take this guy off. But seriously, I think for our purposes right now, and we're gonna be bringing this on for vacations and stuff, like I love how inconspicuous it is. It's very small. Whenever you bring out a big camera, they're like, ooh, what is that? Like, I don't need that attention. Like, I just need to be doing my thing, you know what I mean? So, that's that. A couple of the accessories, okay? I think I'm gonna move on to the extension. Let me just move here. Move this guy. Battery low, god damn it. Okay, whatever. This is the extension. And say you want to, I don't know, you're taking a vacation and you want to capture you and maybe your partner and the background, I don't know, right? So it kind of works like this. It's a locking mechanism of tightening and pulling. So this one, I'm not really that big of a fan of, even though I know it works fairly well, but it's just not that smooth. And sometimes you'll be tightening, and still it didn't lock into place, and then this thing will just fall. So that's kind of annoying. But for the most part, it does a really cool job. And I can stick on, say, my Canon G7X on here because it's a universal like tripod thread screw thing, whatever. And then I could use that as well. So if you're wanting to incorporate different cameras and different angles and all this stuff, you want more control, then that's fun too. I like that. I like that I'm not limited to just use this for this. Another thing I didn't mention was the audio on here. So this guy, it has a little mic here, and it's very poor, but say something really loud is going on, you could actually capture that and still maybe use that footage. But there's a really cool thing here. Comes with this little mic. It's like a little peepee. So they have this thing here. It's still poor. The quality of the audio is still poor. I would still be using something like this guy, a lapel, and this guy, or maybe just straight up using this mic to get better quality audio if I really cared about it. But if it's in a jam and maybe it's just ambient noise of, you know, cars zooming by and B-roll, like this is legit cool. You know, you could still use that as a sort of pattern interrupt when you're doing your editing. I love that. That's really awesome. And it's so compact. It's not the best for sure, but it's something. So next thing would be the bike mount, which is really cool. And I'm gonna just switch to some other footage to give you some insight on that. Okay, this was the bike test. I hooked this thing on my bike, and it's a pretty easy setup. So in order to do this, you have to have this extension, and this is about 25 bucks, 24 something. It comes with this, actually no, yeah, it just comes with this, and then you can attach this thing, which is the phone holder, which already I think comes with it. And then this thing, the bike mount, is so cool. It does a little bit of like suspension. This is actually a suspension here, like on a bike, actually, just like these work right here. So when you hit a jump or whatever, you just hit a couple of, you know, bumps, it does this thing. Isn't that cool? It's so awesome, and it kind of made me nervous at first, but you want to make sure that you're secure here. So it'll give you 3 of these rubber, I guess, spacers, and
and I put 2 of them in here, and 3 of them come in with it. So this will actually, you unscrew this, it lifts up like a lever, and this opens up, and this is all really well made, as it supports the rest of the Osmo. And then as I was biking, I was easily able to reach over here and maneuver the joystick. So if I take this off sleep mode, I was easily able to maneuver the joystick and shoot, say, whatever I was biking towards and myself. But it's a little close range for a really nice composed shot of yourself. Like if you wanted to get yourself and the background, I feel like you would need an extension or something for it to be maybe about 10 inches more further out, so it can get a proper composition of you and the background. Otherwise it's kind of just you in the sky. But what you can do is you can switch it around to yourself. 1, 2, 3, right? And then you can like get your hands, you can point down at your legs pedaling, get that hand, get that side, whatever, and you can get that pretty comfortably. So see, I can aim it at myself here, and I could shoot and shoot at the same time. Crazy. So that's all pretty easy. I just put the settings on auto, shooting at actually 1080 right now, 24 frames a second. All in all, the bike mount is very well built and very sturdy. I don't know if I would trust it like going down a very like an advanced downhill course or trail. Maybe, I don't know. I still feel kind of nervous, and my phone is just kind of here. It's not that secure as this guy. So maybe a nice cruise down, maybe hit a couple bumps, it's okay. Maybe like maybe a couple bumps, but it helps too that my bike has some shock, has some suspension as well.
When we go to Vancouver and we rent some bikes, we're for sure going to be putting this on our bikes. Very cool. This car mount is super well built, like wow. Everything is made out of metal here. It's heavy. I've tested it in my car and seen how well it sticks. I've left it in my car when it got hot, and then these suckers like started to smell. So there is a reaction between like heat and these plastic bits. So I wouldn't recommend just like letting it hang out in your car. I don't know what that would do, but it started to smell like as if it was like melting or baking or something. And you know, it gets really hot over here. We're in California, so we're, you know, it's probably going to be like 200 degrees in your car at some point or more. But just really cool. And I love that, again, I can utilize the same connections with my point and shoot, like my Canon G7X or something. So that's nice. So I can switch between 2 cameras, and I can use these things for multiple things. This guy right here is basically an adapter for a hot shoe or a cold shoe, I guess, because there's no electronic thingies here. And I bought these kind of adapters, hot shoe adapters or something, that maybe I want to put this guy and record from this audio device, and I can actually add that. I can get this in. Okay, here you go. Another thing that you can attach is maybe an external light source. So we have this Lume Cube. I mean, it's pointing the wrong way, but you get the idea, right? Is it lastly? I think it's lastly. Lastly, we have this case, and it's actually a gun case, okay? But it's a universal case. So basically, it's hard cut foam inside. It's awesome. It almost fit everything except for this, all right? So what we did was, to make it fit everything, here's the caveat. To make it fit everything, we actually cut a piece out right here. We just did that with an X-Acto knife, and it worked out because we wanted to fit the tripod and the extension rod right here, and it worked out really well. Let me just show you. There you go. So there's still some stuff that is missing, like this guy, but I don't think you'll be traveling with that too much. Loom cube, maybe. You can put that in your back pocket. The filters are here. You can always slip that in your purse or your extra little fanny pack like I have. But otherwise, it all fits in here. Lovely, lovely device. I love it. It's so much fun. And yeah, so any other workaround problems, those are the tips that I had for this thing. You'll find all of the links in the description. I think it's great for a vlogger to pick something like this up if you want to have a little extra fun and you're just tired of your, best vlogger camera ever, and you just want to get more cinematic shots. So I'd love to answer any questions about it. If you have one too, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more stuff like this. I'll see you next time here in the lab. Peace out. My name's Meg.